If you find yourself in love with the idea of dividend stocks, but hate the idea of waiting forever to get paid those dividends, then this series is for you. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it happens to be your very first time here. My name is Troy, and in this series, I spend hours doing research to find the hidden gems of the dividend world so you don't have to. For example, this week, there were 141 stocks that had an ex-dividend date between August 25th and August 29th of 2025. 50 of those stocks showed that they can not only pay, but also grow their dividend for at least 5 consecutive years. And 20 of those stocks were able to make the risk of investing into individual stocks worth it by also outperforming the S&P 500 over a long period of time. I then took those 20 stocks and picked my 5 favorites to share with you guys today. Now, one thing to note, it's super important that you guys watch this series when it comes out, which is every single Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, because every single stock from today's video is going to have an ex-dividend date of this coming week, which simply put is the date you must own the stock before in order to get paid that next dividend from these companies. With that being said, and before we get to the good stuff, go ahead and do me a favor, tap on that like button as it tells YouTube that I'm doing good work over here. But now let's begin this week's list with number 5, which is Evercore, stock ticker EVR. Including today's video, this is now the 5th time I've spoken about this stock in this series, including back-to-back selections. And if you go back to the very first time I spoke about it, which is way back in episode 49 or May 19th of 2023, one could argue that my timing on Evercore could not be better, as it's averaged more than 62% per year since that first mention. So let's learn some more on this one here. EVR is a quarterly payer in the financial sector, paying $3.36 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 1.09%. EVR has been paying and growing its dividend for the last 9 years, and honestly, the only reason this one didn't rank higher on this week's list is because of these dividend growth rates. Anybody that knows me knows I love my dividend growth rates. This one has a 3-year dividend growth rate of 5.5%, a 5-year dividend growth rate just under 7%, but they are sustainable because the payout ratio sits at 18.26%. Now, at the time of recording, Evercore was trading 5.05% off of its 52-week high. It has an ex-dividend date of August 29th with a payout date of September 12th. And looking at their chart over the past 10 years, you can see that a single lump sum $10,000 investment into EVR would have been turned into $66,700.56, which outperformed the S&P 500 by $30,420.55 in the same time frame. Next up on this week's list, and coming in at number 4, is Griffin, stock ticker GFF. Including today's video, this is now the 6th time I've spoken about this stock in this series, including 4 selections in a row. And if you go back to the very first time I spoke about this one, which was in episode 89 or February 23rd of 2024, Griffin hasn't done the best job since that first mention, but hasn't lost money either. So let's see what other numbers this one offers to make it come in at number 4. GFF is a quarterly payer in the industrial sector, paying 72 cents per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 0.99%. GFF has been paying and growing its dividend for the past 14 years. It has a 3-year dividend growth rate of 25.39%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 18.33%, and a payout ratio sitting at just 11.53%. Now, at the time of recording, Griffin was trading 15.85% off of its 52-week high, which does not help those short-term numbers I just talked about. They have an ex-dividend date of August 29th and a payout date of September 15th. And checking out their chart, you can see that Griffin over the past 10 years has an average annual total return of 19.3% compared to the 13.75% from the S&P 500, which leads to an outperformance on the side of Griffin of $22,147.10. Next up on this week's list, and coming in at number 3 with the bronze medal, is First Bancorp, stock ticker FBP. Including today's video, this is now the 2nd time I've spoken about this stock in this series, including 1 selection in a row. And if you go back to the very first time I spoke about it, which was in episode 88 or February 16th of 2024, FBP has returned over 21% per year on average since that first mention. So let's learn some more on this one right here. FBP is a quarterly payer in the financial sector, paying 72 cents per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 3.4%. FBP has been paying and growing its dividend for the past 7 years. It has a 3-year dividend growth rate of 20.36%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 30.46%, and a payout ratio of 33.25%. Now, at the time of recording, FBP was trading 5.56% off of its 52-week high. It has an ex-dividend date of August 28th with a payout date of September 12th. And looking at this chart, you can see that FBP has a total return of more than 582% compared to the 262.79% from the S&P 500 in the same time frame, which in terms of dollars leads to an outperformance on the side of FBP of $31,925.75. Really quick, before we hit the home stretch of the video, if you guys wouldn't mind using the comment section down below, as that's the best way to get my content in the algorithm of YouTube so other dividend investors can find my content. With that being said, you guys can use it to let me know what you guys think of this week's list, or better yet, let me know which stocks you own from this week's list and how they're doing for you. But now, let's get to number 2. Next up, coming in at number 2 on this week's list with the silver medal is Murphy USA, stock ticker MUSA. Including today's video, this is now the 4th time I've talked about this stock on this series, including one selection in a row. And if you go back to the very first time I spoke about it, which was in episode 115 or August 23rd of 2024, my gas station of choice has done pretty terrible since that first mention, and you're going to see that conveyed in yet another stat here on the next slide. MUSA is a quarterly payer in the consumer discretionary sector, paying $2.12 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 0.54%. MUSA has been paying and growing its dividend for the past 6 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate sitting just under 19%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 15.5%, and a super sustainable payout ratio sitting at 7.78%. And this is the stat I was alluding to earlier. At the time of recording, Murphy USA was trading nearly 30% off of their 52-week high, so this could be an opportunity if you're interested in this stock. They have an ex-dividend date of August 25th with a payout date of September 4th, and checking out their chart over the long term, this one still fares out well versus the S&P 500. It has a total return of 690.38%, an average annual return just under 23%, and has outperformed the S&P 500 by 42,766.82. And you made it to the number 1 stock on this week's list. Coming in at number 1, the stock you guys must know about going into next week is CRA International, stock ticker CRAI. Including today's video, this is now the 5th time I've spoken about this stock in this series, including back-to-back selections. And if you go back to the very first time I spoke about it, which was in episode 76 or November 24th of 2023, CRA International has outperformed to the tune of 46.51% average annual return since that first mention. So let's see all the numbers that made this one the top stock on this week's list. CRAI is a quarterly payer in the industrial sector, paying $1.96 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 1.07%. CRAI has been paying and growing its dividend for the last 8 years. It has a 3-year dividend growth rate sitting at 26%, a 5-year dividend growth rate sitting at 21.75%, and a payout ratio nice and low at 22.48%. Now, at the time of recording, CRA International was actually trading 14.14% off of its 52-week high, so a good pullback, possible opportunity here. It has an ex-dividend date of August 26th with a payout date of September 12th, and checking out this chart over the past 10 years, you can see that CRAI would have turned that $10,000 investment into $88,810.35, which outperformed the S&P 500 by $52,530.34. With that being said, you made it to the end of the video, but before you go, there are 3 dates that I need you guys to remember before you leave. This video comes out on August 22nd of 2025. The earliest ex-dividend date from any of the stocks I mentioned in today's video is on August 25th of 2025, meaning your decision is going to be due by August 22nd, the day this video comes out, if any of the stocks from today's list caught your eye and you don't want to miss the next dividend from that company. With that being said, you 1000% missed every ex-dividend date from last week's list, but if you're still in the market for 5 super high quality dividend stocks, you can check out last week's list right here. But until next time, see ya.